I had to start the video early today because look at the beauty. Look at the beauty. Sunrise, the mist laying in the sort of recesses of the landscape, and the dew on the grass. Yeah, wow, look at my hold on, let me correct the camera, correct the angle. Look at my rubber boots. Look, they're full of, holy damn, looks like they're covered in feathers, but they're actually covered in the fluff of the dandelions. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? And it's also quite chilly. It's yeah, I was checking the temp when I woke up, and it was 4 degrees. So, I mean, not chilly, but you know, fairly cold. But man, look at that. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. How we get a cuckoo intensely calling. Wow, that cuckoo is on fire. It's going and going. And yeah, it's a sunrise because I woke up very early, like probably the earliest I woke up so far. Couldn't sleep, so I was sort of looking at my phone around 5. And right now I think it should be like 5:45 or something. Yeah, we get sorry, let me correct the angle again. We get a black cat from the right. There was, and we got the cuckoo. I love the sound. I was listening to it from very early on. I think when I kind of woke up in the bed, it was definitely 4 something when the bird started singing. I could hear it. I could hear it cuckoo. I could hear it go. Is it a cuckoo, the sound? I don't know. The sound she's making. I don't know. But calling, I could hear her calls from pretty much early dawn. It's probably gonna be. We're probably going to that way. So, nah, we're probably, I'm still slow because the rough night and all that. I mean, it wasn't a rough night. I just couldn't sleep that soundly and deeply. But we're going that way, so we're going towards her, or towards him actually, because it's a male. But cuckoo. I don't know what's the gender of the word in English. Cuckoo. But in Czech it's her. It's a feminine gender. The name is in feminine gender, so that's why I say her, automatically. But it's actually a male, so it's him. So we're gonna, and I know the correct grammar in English is actually it, right? Because it's an animal, so we're coming towards it. But I like to use him, her, because yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we are he, whatever, she, and all that, why shouldn't be they? I mean, why not? We're animals too, and we're male and female, just like them. So But yeah, I know it's it in the correct sort of form. Wow, look at that. Look at the mist over there. Spectacular. So yeah, we're coming towards it, or towards him. So we might, I don't know if he might see it even, probably. I don't know. I haven't seen cuckoo in ages. I always hear it but I haven't seen it. Last time I saw it was probably on some ringing events, like somebody caught it. Some ornithologist caught it in the net, and that's when I see it, when it was like being ringed. But I don't recall it being somewhere on a tree or just seeing it out in the wild, like free, you know. Well, and I think there's going to be absolutely beautiful, you know, sun rays coming across the valley on that part. My favorite part there, when it's like the rolling hills. So we're gonna have the mist, and we're gonna have the sun, and it's gonna be very spectacular, I believe. Oh, this reminds me. Hold on, where's Drake? This reminds me of my early days in ornithology. Oh, yeah, we're definitely coming towards it. It's definitely in this forest, and it's probably somewhere there on the treetop. Ha! Wow. Hopefully you won't spook it, so we can take a... Although I don't have my glasses with me, so I don't know if I can see where it is, but we'll see. Or not. Good boy, good boy. No. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of my early days in ornithology, when whether it was a course or some event where I was, you had to always, not always, but very often, you had to wake up extremely early. And when I was starting, I attended a couple of courses, ornithology courses, and even later on when I was doing, I was in one ornithology course, I was doing a lecture, and I still could do it, you know. I'm invited every year pretty much, like they're always asking if I will go or not. And for about 2 or 3 years in a row, I turned it down. The first year was because of Drake, because it was the first year I was, like, it was the first year I adopted him, and I you know, it was still early, it was like 2 months after, and I didn't know how it would work out, you know, with the you know, people that he doesn't know, like a group of people, and like 4 or 5, it lasts for 4 or 5 days, and you know, it's just a different environment, lots of different strange people that he'd never met, and I would have to, if I would be there as a host or as a, you know, as a guest, I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can watch after him and all that, but I would be a lecturer, so I would have to, wow, okay, jumped over it. I would have to, like, put my intention, you know, absolutely the best of my ability to the attendees, and I couldn't really divide my attention between all the people and Drake, you know. So I don't think it would be compatible. So I said no, and then the next year I said no again, and I kind of stopped feeling, I don't know, I just don't feel like going ever since, you know. It's a beautiful place where it's happening, and there are always great people and all that, but I just don't feel like an authority on birds. It's not like I've ever felt like an authority on birds, you know, but I don't feel like I'm sort of, I guess, competent enough. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm, like, that invested into ornithology anymore, that I am the right person to sort of teach people and to be a lecturer on an ornithology course, you know. I feel there are way more suitable candidates for that. And it's a paid course, you know. That's the thing. If it would be for free, then maybe I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. But it costs money, and it's not that cheap actually. And I don't know, I just don't feel like it. And also it's very far away, so you have to drive there for more than 3 hours. And I'm always like, no, I'm not gonna go. So yeah, that was just a little bit of a. Yeah, I think we might have spooked it. Probably flew somewhere else. I don't know if it was that, but yeah, it's singing calling from a different part now. I think I would have to shut up for a moment, which I could have, but well. So yeah, so it just reminds me of those days, you know, like either when I was a lecturer or when I was a attendee in the very beginning when I was learning. Those very early mornings, because you had to get up when it was almost dark still, you know, and then that's the moment when the birds sing the most and where you can see the most, you know, because they're most active, they're singing, they're showing up and all that. So I remember, kind of reminds me of those days, being in spring this early on outside in the forest sort of, and yeah, sort of gave me a nostalgic glimpse into those days. Wow, yeah, that's what I thought. Look at that. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's quite high up now. I mean, this is usually more spectacular when it's like early spring or winter, when the sun is lower and when it's right. Excuse me. When it's oh yeah, it just reminded me. I'll tell you in a moment. But I was gonna say now it's pretty high because it's Co pak, Drake'u? What is it, Drake? What is it, buddy? What is it? What is it? What is it? I thought he wanted to play, but no. When I do this, usually he starts to play. No, he expects a treat. He expects a treat. But Drake, I didn't, I didn't, like, nothing happened, really. Co pak je, Drake'u? Co by si chtěl? He expected a treat for... Oh, I thought it was a rabbit or something. No. But still, man, look at this beautiful. The morning dew, the mist. But yeah, when the sun is like sort of coming out of the mist and it like shines through the mist in a lower angle, and it just kind of like, it's like gliding across the top of the mist. That's when it's like truly spectacular. But that's usually the case, I think, in very early spring or in winter, because otherwise the sun comes up very early and it's rising up pretty fast and it's very high up, so yeah. But still, this is beautiful. Look at the trees, how they're sort of drowned in that. Wow, look at it moving. That is so cool. Hold on, let me stop for a moment. Wow, that is amazing. That would be a beautiful time lapse, I think. Just to see the flock rolling through the valley. Look at how fast it goes. That's faster than we walk. Way faster than we walk. Wow. That is amazing. And look at the... Oh, actually, we could actually kind of create the effect I was talking about when we walk a little bit down towards the down this way, and we're gonna be a little bit lower on that hill, then the sun is kind of gonna sort of come through the mist. So hold on, let me correct the angle a little bit here. Yeah. And see, right below the sun is the wooden outlook. Wow, this is spectacular. And the air, it's like I haven't breathed through the nose that much because it's congested, because it's cold, but wow, the air is almost, I don't know if you ever had a humidifier at home, but it's look at Drake running through the, man, this is beautiful. I don't know if you ever had a humidifier, but the air right now is exactly as if you would like sit or just have your head right next to the humidifier and just breathe the vapor, you know, that it creates, sort of. Or if you let it turn on for a long time in a smaller room, that's how it smells. It's like you can smell the humidity, you know. It's incredible. Oh, okay, I thought Drake wanted a treat. So I readied myself, but he just ran past me. And why would I give him a treat, right? I didn't call him. So yeah, I have to watch that, you know. I don't want to sort of desensitize him towards like treats and towards sort of hold on, is that a, no, that's probably not a hot air balloon there, right? No, I don't think so. Or is it? Maybe it is. Maybe someone went for an early what is that? Interesting. Or no, actually, no. I think it's the, it's the TV tower, right? Yeah. It's just, I just kind of didn't see the stem of it. I just saw the top, and I was like, it felt like it's floating in the air. Wow, look at this. Holy damn, that is just something. Wow. Man, it was worth waking up this early, that's for sure. This is an amazing thing. That's what I loved about really those, you know. And I think it's even more, I think it's more enjoyable when you're not in a group. I was gonna say that's what I really enjoyed in waking up early for those ornithology events and courses and all that. You know, like I was always like not really keen on waking up early, because when I used to do these ornithology things, I like right now I wake up very early, but that wasn't the case before, you know. Right now early for me was 8 a.m., you know, which today is absolutely normal. That's actually like, if I sleep to 8 a.m., that's actually good, you know. That's like a lot of sleep, and it's definitely not early for me. But like 5-6 years back, 8 a.m. was quite early, you know. And if you had to wake up for 5 a.m., that was like, oh, Jesus, you know. But now, like, it doesn't feel that early, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's very, very enjoyable. I was gonna say I didn't want to desensitize Drake towards treats, so that he still have treats as sort of a reward for something he does. You know, right? Like when I call him and he comes, that's, you know, he comes to me. That's when there's a treat, you know. And so I want him to have this connection, so that, you know, it works. It works well. Sometimes I give him a treat because I'm like, you know, he's looking at me, and he's been all like, you know, close to me the whole time, and he wasn't running away anywhere and all that. So I sometimes give him a treat just like that, you know, like for the good boy that he definitely is all the time. But you know, I don't want to sort of hand treats just like that, you know, because I think that would kind of lose the meaning of the whole thing. Well, right now I'm going to give him a treat if he comes back, but I'm afraid he just found some track. Hopefully it's just a track and not carcass or something of that sort. I'm probably gonna have to get him. I'm not sure, but yeah. But yeah, it was definitely worth waking up this early. When I see this, I'm always like, wow, this is something that you would miss if you would sleep in, right? And it's not like you kind of see that every day, I feel like, you know? I feel like you can sleep in often enough, these kind of moments, and then, you know, and then just like, I guess you could realize one day, you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen enough of those, you know, beautiful sunrises with mist and everything. And I think these are kind of the moments that are worth sort of, and frankly, if I could sleep, I would totally sleep, you know, and I would be so glad to sleep, and I would wake up and I wouldn't regret it, you know, like, oh, I didn't wake up for this sunrise or whatever. Of course not. But, you know, I'm just like thinking that, I mean, you could say, oh man, I didn't sleep well and now I'm tired, but then also you can go outside and see this and be like, wow, this was worth it, you know? But hell, wow, look at these. These, by the way, hold on. These, by the way, I'm sure that you're familiar with them if you're from from pretty much anywhere probably at this point, but I believe these are originally from, there he is. These are, I believe, originally from America, and they are here. They are definitely non-native species. You know, they've been imported here essentially. I don't know when, but probably a couple centuries back, and they sort of caught on here in the wild. But they're non-native. They're beautiful. I mean, I love them, but they're non-native, and they are from the United States, from North America, if I'm not mistaken. And I think you can see them a lot in those national parks. Well, they caught on here as well, and they're growing here fairly commonly, actually. But they're sort of invasive and non-native. There's actually an app where you can, I think it's, yeah, there is an app here in Czech Republic where you can log in your, hold on, let me call Drake again. Drakeu, já jsem tě volal pro něco. I said I called him for a reason, not just like, I'm not whistling here like I'm not whistling for joy here. I'm whistling, you know, so that, oh, come on. Yeah, he's you know, he's lost in his head again. I believe he found some track or something. I guess I'm gonna go get him. Well, there is an app in Czech Republic when you can log your sightings of this plant for biologists, so that they know the extent the extent of this plant, where it grows. Oh, he found something, didn't he? No, he didn't. No. What is it, Drake? What is it, man? No, he's just sniffing out that stuff. I thought I smelled something too, but no, I don't think I do. No. Is there anything here? No. No. There is. I think I said it a couple of times, but there are rabbits in this area, so I think he just smells them, trying to find them. But see, they're here, they're there, they're over there. But you can, if you live in Czech Republic, and I believe there might be other apps for different countries in Europe, but you can actually log sightings of them where you see them, so that the biologists, I'm repeating what I said, sorry, but yeah, so that the biologists know the extent of their sort of distribution across the country. And yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that data, but I guess it's just to sort of map out, you know, what's happening with this invasive species. And I don't think there is anything being done. Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything that can be done, in fact, probably, to sort of prevent this, because once it's spread out into the wild, and it's just like, you know, I don't know who would go out in there and try to sort of, I don't know, cull the population. Like, how would you do it, you know? And there are tons of invasive, I mean, hell, you have acacia, which is not a native species, and they're freaking everywhere, you know, around Prague, they're everywhere. So I cannot imagine what would you have to do to stop acacia growing in the country. That would be impossible, I think, almost. And then you have, there's loads of species that are non-native, really. I'm thinking about some other examples, but well, I mean, you know, but that's the thing. That's like invasive, non-invasive, native, non-native. It's, I don't know, man. It depends on your view. I mean, depends a lot, because there are loads of non-invasive species of insects, for instance, that are pushing out the native species, like the Chinese, I think it's Asian or Chinese ladybug. I'm not sure the exact scientific name, but it's an Asian ladybug that it's pushing out populations of the, you know, the iconic ladybug, the European one, and it's taking its place, really. And you know, I know that, like, the official sort of view and the general consensus is that it's like harmful, and that it's, you know, unnatural, and that it's like, it shouldn't be that way, and all that. And yes, they are invasive, they're non-native, but I kind of feel like, if you would look at the big picture, I think this was happening since forever, really, since there has been any species on Earth. Same with, like, extinctions, you know. I mean, the rate at which extinctions are happening at this point of time is highly unusual, and it's not healthy, sort of, and it's not, you could say it's not normal, but there has been extinction events in the past, and I think this is one of them, driven by large part by our activity, not only, but also by a large part by our activity. But we are part of the nature. I think that this whole view of, like, okay, you know, extinctions and non-native and invasive and all that, I feel like this view comes from the fact that we separate ourselves from nature, and we put ourselves onto a different category than everything else. But I think that's fundamentally wrong, because we are, you know, species, we are animals too, and everything that we do and create is nature, when you think about it, you know. What else would it be, you know? So the fact that there is a you know, travel, there was like, I mean, sort of the trade routes between different countries, that's already been going on for centuries, right? So, you know, invasive and non-native species, I think that's been happening since Roman times, when, like, you know, some exchanges were made with, like, seeds and plants and all that, and then people planted it somewhere, and then it started to grow there, you know. Apparently, what I remember learning is that hold on, was it a walnut or was it a horse chestnut? Either one of those is actually from the Balkans originally. Now it's growing everywhere here too, and in entire Europe. And it came from the Balkans, like, I believe it was quite a long time ago, you know? So you have tons of species that were not originally here, but they kind of made their way across the continent somehow, you know? Same with species like sparrows, like house sparrows and rats and all that, you know? And I think it's not a coincidence. I mean, we as human species, we just colonized the entire planet. And along with us, you know, that train that we sort of created, you know, not an actual train, but you know what I mean. I was gonna say this word, but hypothetical. No, it's not hypothetical. Whatever. Like the train sort of that we created, quote unquote train. Other animals, you know, sort of got the ticket as well, and they were on that train with us, and they sort of went along with us, you know. I mean, cats, rats, house sparrows, you know, and seeds and insects and everything, you know. So this whole thing that we created, this whole network, and we sort of connected all the parts of the world together, is part of the natural process, because we are nature, you know. And I think that's my personal opinion. I mean, you may not, you're totally free to not agree with me, you know. And hell, I'm totally willing to say that I'm wrong if someone proves me wrong. But I feel like this view, as I was saying, comes from the fact that we separate ourselves from nature, and we feel like everything that we do is outside of it, right? But I believe that now, I used to think that too, but now I believe that's not the case. And the world is changing, and things are, you know, species are slowly, I was talking about black caps and how new subspecies are being formed, and some new species are being lost. But if you check extinction events in the past, there's been millions of species dying, and the world transforms somehow always, you know, and the continents moved, and you know, everything sort of swapped and interchanged and all that. And I think if you look at it from the big picture, I feel like this is all, like, I mean, it's one Earth, right? It's one Earth. We're all sort of, you know, carbon-based life forms. We were made from the same material, you know. And the sort of labels that we slapped on top of things, like, oh, and this is this species, this is that species, this is rare, this is not rare, this is common, this is uncommon. That's our thing, you know. But in reality, everything is one, you know. This tree, Drake, me, you know, the camera, everything comes from this Earth, you know. Or hell, I mean, there are maybe some meteorites, you know, in the past that, you know, hit Earth, and you know, we got gold and silver from the stars, right? So, and other elements probably, but I mean, it's still one universe, you know, one planet. It's just, you know, so like, yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel. So while I say, yeah, this plant is non-native and invasive, you know, I mean, I feel like some of these things are sort of natural course, a natural part of the evolution and what's happening, because we are part of the whole process. We're part of nature. We are nature. And the fact that this plant, I'm gonna put these species in the subtitles, probably it's already there, right? I mean, put it in the editing. But the fact that this plant got sort of propagated across Europe, and originally was only growing in North America, I think it's just part of the, I don't know, it's just part of the whole process, I think, you know. And of course it sucks when it's like pushing out native species, But then look at what we've done in the history of our, you know, species. What like how many other species we've pushed out, how many plants, how many places we've colonized and sort of changed forever, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you kind of look at it from the macroscopic view instead of the microscopic one and really see the big picture, things look different from that angle, I feel like, you know? And yeah, that's just a bit of train of thought for Friday morning. And tomorrow is the weekend, so no videos over the weekend as usual, and I'm gonna resume on Monday. So see you on Monday. Signing off.